We'd intended to migrate to D-Roll, but we did not do that, and we chose WeQuote instead. That decision was made about 10 months ago or so, and then we just onboarded. I asked to do a test run before we were up and running January 5th, and that was also accommodated. And so then we basically shut down on a Friday, and we were up and running on Monday.
Wow, thank you. Hi, Mark. Thanks for doing this for us. It's great to be in LA. Could you please start by telling us about AudioVisions, what you do, who your clients are, and the scale of projects and the type of projects you usually handle?
AudioVisions has been in business for more than 35 years. There are 4 offices in the state of California. Our customers are the luxury home, essentially homeowners. There's an acronym for it, ultra high luxury something or another. Because that's our target market. We do some commercial work as well. Have had many iterations of the company. The company had been owned by Best Buy at one point. It was bought back several years ago by the original owners. And now we're on our current journey.
Perfect. Thank you. So how long have you been in the industry for, and roughly how many people are in the AudioVisions team? I know it's a large company.
Sure. I've been with AudioVisions for about 7 years now. Prior to that, I was a food process engineer in Florida, but when I moved to California, I started working for AudioVisions. And the team is currently about 80 employees.
Oh, okay, nice. And before WeQuote, it'd be good to have an understanding of what tools you were using to sort of manage quoting and project workflows.
Sure. AudioVisions had a bespoke software that was created by the founders. It was actually developed so well that when the company was acquired by Best Buy and some other interests before that, one of the key reasons that people were interested in AudioVisions was because of this quoting software, which evolved into project management and data accounting as well. My understanding is that AudioVisions entered into an agreement with D-Tools in, I believe it was 2016. Release and everything regarding that. We had intended to migrate to D-Roll, but we did not do that, and we chose WeQuote instead. That decision was made about 10 months ago or so, and then we just onboarded basically 1st of January, and here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we actually met at this show last year, which was in June. I think that was our initial. I remember meeting you guys. So sure. Yeah. What were the biggest frustrations with that process, specifically around quoting speed and pricing accuracy and proposal quality?
With our original software, maybe obstacle would be the word to use, was that it wasn't cloud-based, which our founder and CEO is passionate about the latest technology.
Sure.
And we needed a cloud-based application. And also we needed to be able to communicate with our other platforms. And so that was the main reason for switching over. But for what we were doing as far as quoting, project management, that whole process, we were actually very happy with that. We just needed 21st century technology.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Makes sense. Was there a specific moment, a job, a client situation, or a business decision that made you realize there was something better? I know you've obviously just talked about the cloud-based feature, but was there a certain point in time, or as I say, job, client, where it was like, this can't go on any longer, we need to change this? Or was it more gradual?
It had wanted to have been done in 2016. So it has been a gradual process, I would say, not of our choosing. So we were very anxious to make the transition. We realized that we needed upgraded tools as early as 10 years ago.
Sure.
Nothing was really available that met the needs of our business and our business rules. So yes, sure. We've been wanting to do it for quite a long time.
Sure. First question of the switch is, what decided you to try WeQuote specifically? Well, we've kind of answered that question. As well as that cloud-based approach, was there anything else, or was that the key reason? I'm just trying to sort of understand.
Having a cloud-based software was very important. Having the capability of migrating from one system to another, one platform to another, was important, because we can't shut down for a month and say, okay, everyone just hang tight while we get all the data transferred over. We needed, 2/3 of our employees work in the field on the job site, and X percentage of that has intermittent Wi-Fi capability. So we needed a mobile app, and also something more than just a mobile optimized website. We needed an app that would be available for the field. So those are some of the decisions that made us make the choice with WeQuote as opposed to your competitors.
Sure. Thank you. How did the onboarding and migration process go? Was it easier than expected? How did it look like in terms of time? I know you were heavily involved in that and you were putting a lot of hours in yourself.
Yes.
How was that process for you?
Yes, I was heavily involved with at least specifically 2 WeQuote employees who I was talking to on at least a weekly basis, if not more than that, for the end of Q4 to onboard WeQuote for Q1. And I would say as smoothly as these things could go, I would say that it went very smoothly. I personally was very happy with the process. We're on an older software. We needed to learn some new tools. Plus, we were trying to modernize our whole software stack.
Sure.
So there were a lot of changes at AudioVisions, WeQuote being kind of the cornerstone, I would say, maybe of that.
Sure.
And from my point of view, things went well.
The process started in Q4. How quickly were you up and running? So from Q4, when were you at the point where you were like, right, we've done the setup, we can now really crack on with dealing with our day-to-day operation?
Process actually started in the summer. So we had a few talks with the WeQuote folks, and we decided to do 2 implementations.
Sure.
So the first one was around essentially scheduling and tasks and things of that nature, which involved most of our field employees.
Sure.
So after talking to the WeQuote folks and expressing some needs that we needed, they were able to accommodate. So we made that first transition in October. The big one was January. And again, after a few mission critical path type features that we needed, that we asked for, didn't know, didn't expect that they would be able to be, that we would be able to be accommodated, but we were. Sure. We're happy about that. So that made the process go smoothly. I asked to do a test run before we were up and running January 5th, and that was also accommodated. And so then we basically shut down on a Friday.
Yeah.
And we were up and running on Monday.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Can you walk me through what creating a quote looks like and how it has differed from your process before and to the WeQuote way?
It is heavily dependent on whoever's creating the quote, their knowledge of the products. You have a client-facing representative. Sometimes we'll have a little team. There may be someone who is helping to develop the quote and the project that's much more technical. And then we have someone who can communicate that information to the client.
Sure.
I would say that the process is basically the same as what we had before. I think that our company maybe prided itself a bit on having well-developed processes, internal processes, and software for quote development. I know that's not the case, and that is a challenge for a lot of companies. And that was one of the things I think that we got right early on. And it's probably one of the reasons that it allowed us to flourish early on.
Sure.
But yeah, for the quoting process, essentially, you're building the quote from the catalogs that are linked within WeQuote. We can add our own products, our own costing from our suppliers and stuff like that. The quote, proposal generation, we do have an electronic way of the client accepting the proposal, which is something we didn't have before, which is very nice.
Which features have made the biggest difference to the day-to-day? So is that the live pricing? Is that proposal output? Is that going to be the snag and the technician side of things? Or maybe the accountancy integration is the one that stands out as being sort of the most, wow, this has made a difference. This is saving a lot of time.
Sure. So in addition to onboarding the platform, I also trained the employees.
Yeah.
I think from my point of view, the most feedback I got was from the Snag app. Being able to have access to your projects in the field, even in an offline mode, has been very impactful. That would be the top one in my mind.
Has it changed how your sales team, project managers and field engineers work together? Has it changed how they talk with each other? Has it changed the process? Has it changed the workflow of that sort of those relationships?
I couldn't say that it did. And the reason for that is because your software was already configured basically in the way that we already did business.
Sure.
With that said, I would say to other companies, it is a good structure. And it's a good way to think about how different departments or different people interact with each other. So yes, it essentially allowed us to continue operations in the way that we were used to doing them.
Has it had any measurable impact on revenue margins or the number of jobs you're winning, or even the number of, the speed of approval? Is there anything we can sort of look at in that term?
I don't look at those kind of numbers in our company. I would say that the ability to have a client see a proposal online, provide comments on the online interface, to be able to accept, that can speed up the process.
Has it affected team morale, productivity, or the kind of work people spend time on?
Yes, in one way it has. Scheduling field technicians. We have 4 offices, and all 4 offices, that's one area where we didn't have one company mandated application. So we had many different people doing many different calendars and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I could pull up the WeQuote calendar and I could see any employee in the company, where they're going, what their tasks are, what their time was allotted to that project. So that's one thing that has definitely improved efficiency and ease of access to data for us.
Would you recommend WeQuote to other US integrators?
I would say yes. Things that come to mind for me is the Snag app, the integrated solution as far as the quoting information, being able to be converted into a project, being able to have product then that can be ordered through an inventory and warehouse module that can be tracked. You can track margins within your quotes. You can have edits and revisions that are very easily done. Invoicing works well. It can interface, for us, it interfaces with our accounting software, our purchase orders as well, and it can interface with our accounting software. I would say those things and the ability to get our data into the platform to get up and running. Those were all things that were probably mostly missing in your competitors.
What would you say to an integrator who's been using DTools or another platform for years and is possibly nervous about the transition?
I would say that, so we did have some data in DTools, and that was the easiest data to migrate over. It was the easiest processes to migrate over because the structure, the fundamental structure, how the different modules work together, is very similar. So I think for AudioVisions, the transition from DTools to WeQuote was not very painful. It was from our older software, which, again, business rules were very similar, but the architecture of the software was very different. So kind of figuring out, what button do I press? Where's this page? And, this report doesn't look the way that I thought, or, this is a new report I didn't have before. That was a larger learning curve. But the DTools transition, I think, is pretty simple.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up everything for today. As I say, Mark Carlier from AudioVisions, really great to have you here. Thanks for taking the time out. Thank you.
My pleasure.